MKUltra, What the Documents Reveal. In 1975, a United States Senate investigation uncovered something few Americans had ever imagined: a secret government program, funded by the Central Intelligence Agency, designed to explore whether the human mind could be controlled. This was not fiction. It was called Project MKUltra, and it is confirmed by declassified records, sworn testimony, and official admissions. The deeper question is not whether it existed. The documents show that it did. The deeper question is this: how far will a government go when it believes national security is at risk? The story begins in the early 1950s. The Cold War had transformed global politics into a climate of fear. American officials believed the Soviet Union and Communist China were experimenting with psychological manipulation. Reports from the Korean War described captured soldiers making public confessions that seemed coerced. Within intelligence circles, a disturbing possibility emerged. What if America's enemies had discovered a way to break the human will? In 1953, CIA Director Allen Dulles authorized a new research program. Its objective was explicit in internal memos: to study methods for influencing and controlling human behavior. The program received a cryptic codename, MKUltra. According to declassified CIA documents released in the 1970s, MKUltra began formally on April 13, 1953. Its scope was broad, its funding was secret, its methods were experimental. Records show that more than 80 institutions were involved: universities, hospitals, research foundations. In many cases, the researchers did not know the CIA was financing the work. Sub-projects explored hypnosis, sensory deprivation, psychological stress techniques, chemical compounds, and one substance in particular, LSD. The agency wanted answers. Could LSD weaken resistance during interrogation? Could it disrupt memory? Could it destabilize personality structures? Internal memoranda show these questions were not hypothetical. Experiments were conducted, and in some cases, individuals were administered LSD without their knowledge or consent. This was later confirmed during congressional investigations. The truth began to surface in 1975. After the Watergate scandal, public trust in government had eroded. The United States Senate formed a special investigative body, the Select Committee to Study Governmental Operations with Respect to Intelligence Activities. It became known as the Church Committee, led by Senator Frank Church. During public hearings, CIA officials acknowledged the existence of MKUltra. They confirmed that experimentation had occurred. They confirmed that some subjects had not given informed consent. One of the most widely cited cases involved a government scientist named Frank Olson. In 1953, Olson was unknowingly given LSD during a CIA-related meeting. Days later, he fell to his death from a hotel window in New York City. In 1975, the U.S. government formally apologized to his family and acknowledged the role of the LSD administration. These findings are part of the historical record. Another documented component of MKUltra was known as Operation Midnight Climax. According to declassified files, CIA operatives established safe houses in San Francisco and New York City. Individuals were brought into these apartments. Some were secretly given LSD. Their behavior was observed behind one-way mirrors. The stated purpose was to study how altered mental states might affect vulnerability, suggestibility, and interrogation potential. Even internal CIA reviews later described aspects of these operations as ethically troubling. Then, in 1973, something happened that permanently limited the historical record. CIA Director Richard Helms ordered most MKUltra files destroyed. This order was confirmed during Senate testimony. Thousands of operational documents were eliminated. However, financial records survived because they were stored separately. Those surviving records allowed reconstructors to reconstruct parts of the program's scale. They confirmed funding streams, institutional partnerships, sub-project numbers. Without those financial documents, MKUltra might have remained entirely hidden. The Church Committee's final reports acknowledged that the CIA had engaged in non-consensual human experimentation. The findings shocked the public. They also led to reforms. In 1976, President Gerald Ford issued Executive Order 11905. It prohibited experimentation on human subjects without informed consent, except under strict legal and ethical guidelines. Congress strengthened oversight mechanisms for intelligence agencies. The intelligence community entered a new era of scrutiny. It is important to distinguish between documented evidence and speculation. The official record confirms that MKUltra existed. It confirms that LSD and other substances were tested. It confirms that some individuals were unaware they were part of experiments. It confirms that many files were destroyed. It confirms that the U.S. Senate validated these findings. What the record does not confirm is successful long-term mind control. Internal assessments suggested that LSD was unpredictable and unreliable. Many experiments produced inconsistent results. In the end, the program reflected Cold War fear more than scientific mastery. Project MKUltra stands as a historical case study. It demonstrates how perceived existential threats can reshape policy decisions. It shows how secrecy can expand when oversight is limited, and it reveals how democratic institutions can authorize ethically questionable actions under pressure. The exposure of MKUltra did not come from rumor. It came from documents, from hearings, from testimony under oath, from records that survived destruction. The legacy of MKUltra is not about science fiction. It is about accountability. It is about transparency. It is about the tension between security and liberty. History shows that when fear dominates policy, boundaries can shift, and sometimes decades pass before the public learns what was done in its name. Project MKUltra is no longer classified. Its existence is not disputed. The evidence is archived, the hearings are recorded, the documents are public. The question that remains is broader. When governments confront uncertainty and threat, where should the line be drawn? Because history shows that once secrecy expands, restoring trust can take generations. This is not speculation. This is what the documents reveal.
This documentary is based on declassified government records, United States Senate investigations, and publicly available archival sources. All visual elements in this video are AI generated and are used for illustrative and educational purposes. The narrative does not extend beyond the documented historical record. The events described belong to a specific chapter of the Cold War era and to the reforms that followed.